Well, the game is pretty much ready, so we're going to jump into it now. Who would you like to start off with? We said Peely might be a factor, so I'm probably going to go on board with him.
And just to point out, folks, this is actually the bad side, and perhaps out of every hardpoint map on the game, the team spawned in the bad side has the biggest deficit.
Well, here we go. You actually see kills.
And Peely just stomped on Reedy at the start, by the way, which provides 4 down for OpTic. Perfect start, and they're taking full advantage of the good spawn.
Well, you can see there, Scump's ready, looking down mid bio, and he's actually seen someone already. But it's going to be that green that's going to be Formal holding. And then you actually see Peely and Reedy all trying to challenge him here. Formal just staying alive, picks off one as well. And this is exactly what he needs to do, but he actually let the players through. There's 2 of them come through, did stay alive, but maybe a little bit more aggressive to help his teammates out there.
Perhaps not, even though, you know, he let the players into the hill. It's all about retaining that blue spawn, and the fact that he had an AR, it's kind of preferential for him to just sit back and let his SMGs push in the hill. And as we see there, he's pulled out an SMG as expected. You sort of have the AR at for the long range battles at the start, and then sort of transition to 8 SMGs as the game goes on.
You can already see that rotation's coming in, and that's pretty much perfect from OpTic. We did say this was going to be a comfortable win, and they're playing it textbook at the moment. That was easy for them. They won the rotation kill as well. Yeah,
I think because Vitality sort of left themselves at a 20-point deficit, they should have really had an earlier rotation. And as we see now, OpTic are just able to hold this hill. They're pushing out the top spawns as you want, and they're kind of going to try and force Vitality to spawn as far away from the hill as possible and get the maximum amount of points.
You see Formal pushing by Scum, but they have let us through, so now they've got to close back into it. Opportunity for Vitality to hold this down. They have taken it away, and they are now spawning in. Several bodies will prevent OpTic from coming straight back into this hardpoint here. Crimson's picked up a 2-piece. Reedy's trying to shut him down. Will eventually get it as Marky B comes in for the pinch.
20 points left on this hill. You expect Vitality to take the remainder, but it's all about this next rotation. It's so key. The rotation from this hill, the escalator's hill, to Blue Hill. Blue Hill is a hill where you want to be expecting to rack up 60 points because it's incredibly hard to break.
Yeah, Formal is already 10 and 4. Big shots from him as Watson will get the scrap time, and realistically, this is the area of the game where scrap time you kind of do want it. It become later in the game, rotations can really make a difference, especially when you're struggling, and if you're behind, you have to go for scrap time. Yeah,
again, we've seen OpTic take initial control of the hill. They've just out-rotated them. Crim6 picks up a huge 2-piece on Reedy and Marky B, and both Reedy and Marky B not having the best of games if you check the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's not exactly going well. I mean, they are going to be relying on people like Peely and Watson, who are their main slayers, who do a lot of this work. But that's not going to help when you've got people like Formal dropping big numbers, Scumpy's going big. We've seen Crim pick up multiple 2-pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. And for people who kind of aren't familiar with Hardpoint on this game so much, it's a lot different to Black Ops 2 in that there are a lot of hills on this game where, as you see, it's more preferential. It's better to just stack 4 people in the hill rather than have the anger, the AR outside the hill. And this is one of them, you know, it's just about getting numbers in the hill and trading the kills. And that's just something that when you have players going 2 and 13, 5 and 11, it's quite hard to do.
This hill is really difficult to break simply because you're going to have players kind of, if you have a team in there, that team can go so many areas to kind of cut off either purple or green. Listen, you look out this door, see if anybody's there, you look out the window. It's hard for you to kind of judge where those players are that have cover against you running in open.
Oh, exactly. You just, aside from this, you just need to prioritize just getting numbers in the hill, getting bodies in the hill rather than kind of pushing it out. This hill, of course, you want to retain the green spawn. Vitality actually currently have it. I think there's a huge battle going on the minimap in blue, a 2v2, and this will really sort of dictate who gets the spawns.
Well, you actually see Formal, they're trying to stay alive really well. Peely will eventually shut him down, and Nable's going to be the one in the hill. And you can see, here come Vitality. They're going to try and flood this all at once. Reedy's going to get shut down. A little bit of a snapshot there from the Nable on his own teammate. Actually doing really well to stay alive, but will eventually go down. OpTic still have control. Vitality are really struggling to do anything here. Oh,
it's just, as you said earlier, it's just continuing to be an absolute textbook demolition by OpTic. You know, they're playing it pretty much perfectly at this point.
Yeah, they most certainly are. We're on board with Crim now. Just looking at the scoreboard, the slaying is so much in favour of OpTic that the scoreline does actually tell the entire story. There's just nothing they can do. Every time they're losing all the gunfights. Yeah,
I mean, interesting to see Reedy's actually elected to pull out an AR instead of an SMG, which perhaps is down to his fairly poor performance so far in the map. I don't want to be too critical as we're only on the first rotation, but I think he really needs to step his stuff up if Vitality are going to have any slither of a chance of getting back into this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not over, but I don't think I've ever seen it come back this big, if I'm honest, Swan.
170 to 36, Bryce. Just to reinforce that, folks, that is an absolute massacre.
That is a massacre. This could even be a 50-point club if it continues on this way. I mean, there's just nothing they can do. I mean, Vitality just almost don't seem like they... where is the team that yesterday beat an American team? Where's the team that beat a Revenge?
Oh, exactly. I mean, and I hope this doesn't set the tone for the rest of the series, because I can see this being the swiftest of 3-0s in the history of COD.
Yeah.
If OpTic continue on this rampage. But as we see, you know, another scrappy hill, this the 5th hill in the rotation. It's just kind of, oh yeah, a huge 2-piece from him, and it's just kind of about getting that scrap points, just contesting. You're not really looking to get as full control on that hill.
On board with Marky now. Vitality gets taken down by Formal, and they really didn't. I mean, you're never going to hold circle that well, simply because it's quite easy to pinch from all 4 directions if you want to. And people can be quite sneaky and go around. But that was no time at all.
I mean, it's hard to really criticise Vitality's performance. I think it's just a fact of OpTic just being the slaying powerhouse that we know them as. Yeah, I think they've really stepped up to the plate today. You know, as you said, they had a shaky performance yesterday on the first map. But this is where they're kind of coming into their element, and they want that win, they want that revenge from champs.
They really do. There we go. It's still going massively in favour of OpTic here. They both scrap over this middle point. Vitality finally managed to get in there, and they will clean out. Really stepping it up as well. Has got 3 kills to his name. Unfortunately, this may be too little too late.
I think it's by far too little too late, and at this point they're just looking at consolation. I think it's underestimated, you know, just how important it is to kind of keep playing right until the end, not to kind of to deny the other team of any momentum, not to give up halfway through, because obviously it affects you mentally.
Yeah, I mean, if they can continue to do this, I mean, Petey going in, will he get a 3-piece? No. Does get shut down before he does it, and really...
Well, if nothing else works, just jump on the turret and just gun some people down off that.
It's one of those ones there. Yeah, just looking at Enable here. I mean, Enable come under a little bit of fire today. Not an awful lot, but they were saying you can tell he's a pick-up in the squad. He wasn't really dropping any numbers today. This is ridiculous from him. Oh
yeah, and I think if you look at overall, just the overall statistics of the OpTic lineup, it's kind of fairly even in terms of slaying, in terms of how they're contributing to the game.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. The scores are so far apart here. It's now, I mean, this is actually becoming closer in my mind in terms of how they're actually trading points and trading kills.
Yeah,
so
I think
it's the last 4 or 5 minutes, but you know, you can't do that if your first 5 minutes suck.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, the fact that you're 172 to 30 points going into the 5th hill on the first rotation, that kind of sets the tone. I don't think you're ever going to recover from a deficit of that magnitude. But I think it's not just the slaying from OpTic, but it's just the sheer rotation and the fact that they're beating Vitality every time. They're just them few seconds quicker every time to each hill.
And then, to make matters worse, they're winning the rotation kills.
Oh well, I mean, yeah. As I said, they haven't really been in the position kind of to break any hills. They've always been first in. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Pulling out the shank, he's just showboating at this point.
He really is. And this game is going to end, and that is a 100-point club. OpTic have just put Vitality in it, 250 to 96. We said it'd be comfortable. We didn't think it'd be a massacre.
And a massacre it was. But as you see, folks, the Riot S&D, and this is the map which both myself and Bryce predicted Vitality to win. And I think if they have any hope of winning this series, they need to get their act together on this map. Well,
Petey hasn't gone straight for him here. It looks like it's already kicking off. And so many of them gone down. It's now 2 versus 2 as we try to get some of these gunfights going on. Crimson will pick up a 2-piece straight away. It's now Watson a 1 versus 2 in the first 15 seconds.
And kicking off it was actually a 4v3 there. Watson opted to watch the flank, whereas everyone from the other team sort of elected to battle it out on the A-bomb site. And that's something you'll see on this map a lot. You know, the A-bomb site is hugely favoured on attack.
OpTic also know the bomb is there. And you can see Watson is going to see one. Oh, no!
Dear God. Was that the guy with the pistol who killed him? Because if it was, I shed it to you.
I think we're about to find out.
And it was.
It was. Oh my goodness. Formal.
And I think there must have been a gentleman's agreement not to use overkill, but because we saw Formal sort of pick up the snipe at the start, switch to his pistol and destroy Watson.
Well, there you go. That just didn't go well, and you can kind of see Vitality on your screen right now that they're reeling from these onslaughts, and realistically, they kind of could have done with that first round just to get their head game right.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the more you sort of go down, and if they continue to go down a few rounds, it's always going to be in the back of the mind. Again, a huge battle going on at the A-bomb site. 2 kills traded from Scumple. Formal. Petey takes out Enable, but it's currently a 3v2 in favour of OpTic. 3v1 now. Petey, last guy alive, looking to make something happen.
Yeah, it looks like OpTic is going to rotate this and plant B, which actually makes it worse for Petey, because Petey wouldn't mind kind of picking up a kill here. If the bomb carrier had been planting, he picked that up and dipped, that would have given him a bit of a time to kind of mess around and do what he needed to do.
Now if you look at OpTic, and I presume it's Crim6 predominantly calling the strats, just how decisive they were on that to sort of push through and rotate all the way around to A. Petey's mind's been absolutely blown. He doesn't know what's going on. He rotated from A to B. And he's in a really bad situation here. 3v1 with the bomb down. Don't expect him to win this.
The worst thing that can happen in the clutch is that you see somebody and you don't make the kill.
Oh, and exactly, and that's all OpTic are looking to do. You know, they're not looking to make the kill. They're just looking to spot him out and kind of get numbers.
He can't go out of fire.
Yeah.
He's going to get caught.
Surround him.
Look at this.
Picks up Formal.
They are trying to stay alive. The problem being is time now. Time will kill him quicker than the clock will. Krim is watching fire. Surely he's not going to let him through. He's going to see Krim and he is going to get him taken down. Almost a nightmare scenario for PD. That double rotate from OpTic completely threw him off. He was sitting in the middle of the map going, where on earth have these guys gone?
And I think that's a difference again. I think we've seen it in the first 2 rounds of this, certainly not from Vitality, but for other European teams. Just how sort of condensed OpTic play, they play as a team, they kind of push always together, whereas a lot of European teams, it catches American teams off guard in S&D because they're sort of so unorthodox. You'll have guys hitting flanks at different times.
If I'm remembering correctly, this is Petey's famous rush where he goes straight for them. I don't know if he's going to do it now. Yes, he is. He's going to go straight for Formal, and he is going to pick that one up as well. He does this a lot, and he will get entry kills doing it frequently.
Now, Vitality, if you look at the position on the minimap, although Krim did take out Marky B, they should win this round 3v2 with the bomb down. I think there's an OpTic player on the flank. Evens it up to a 2v2.
Oh, you can actually see Krim just coming out now. It is a 2 versus 2. Krim looking for these players desperately. He's going to see one now. It will be taken down. It's going to be Enable left alive in a 1 versus 2.
And at this point, I think this is probably his best.
Petey's seen him. Petey, funny enough, Petey's first start using that spot where he looked there at the very first land, and it really threw off TCM way back then, so he's more than used to it.
Oh, right there. I mean, and at the start, I don't think people realised you couldn't shoot through that either, so it's pretty much the perfect spot.
The very first land on AW for Europe, Petey was using that spot to ruin TCM.
It's interesting to see, actually. So I know myself, I've sort of retained some strategies, some kind of routes I used, you know, the first time I played this game.
Yeah. Well, they're going on board with OpTic this time. They are, of course, 2-1 up still and 1-0 up in the game score. You can actually see here, not the big battle we were expecting. Could even be a 3-man flank.
Yeah, now this could catch OpTic off guard, I think, if Vitality are decisive and they decide to push this immediately.
But you see really they're trying to hold it. Problem is I wouldn't be surprised to see OpTic actually rotate. No, they've gone for the plant. And this actually puts Vitality in a worse position now because they have no control. They have to come out in the open. Yeah,
and if you look at where OpTic are in relation to each other, I think especially the guys next to the bomb site, they're in perfect trading positions. Crim6 is going to be watching the flank, and I think... Oh, Marky B did take out Enable, though, which is a huge entry kill at the bomb site. Evens it up to a 3v3.
You see here, they might stack this, but unfortunately another player has gone down. It's going to be a 2 versus 2. And they're both coming out there. Watson is doing serious work.
Oh, that was huge from Watson.
Huge entry kill now. Can Marky B make this? No, down he goes. It's going to be Watson. Watson needs to trade. Surely couldn't he will get it eventually.
Huge 3, I think, what was that, 3 kills that round from Watson? And I did just got the defuse as well. I didn't actually expect him to take that round because the A bomb site on this map, I think it's notoriously hard to take back because there are so many positions you can watch it from, you know, long range with a snipe or just sit in a corner near the site.
For me, the reason I didn't think they were going to take that round was simply time. When you've got, what was it, 3v3 at one point with the bomb down.
And as you said earlier, just
actually,
play the clock.
Yeah, it takes a while to actually get those trades in. If one player slips away, suddenly you either have to chase him or you're going to worry about him playing the clock. Well, here we go. We're on board once more. Is Petey going to do it again? He has done this before. Well, no, sees Enable. Enable gets there first. One coming through fire. Petey tries to trade. He's not going to here. Really out there, desperately putting shots down and sniped out the air by Formal. Watson was on the flank
now,
again.
This is the second round which Watson's done this, and I don't particularly agree with it because the first round, obviously, you can kind of predict that OpTic, the way they play, they're going to 4-man stack a site on defense. They like to play sort of together. In the first round, because they didn't have numbers, because it was essentially a 4v3, it left Vitality a deficit because Watson was flanking, and again it's happened.
To trade kills.
Yeah, it's happened again where because OpTic have had the numbers at the site, they've just effectively traded the kills, as you said.
And OpTic know exactly where this bomb is. They're set up for it. Formal's actually got a sniper out as well. Enable's going to be set, and that's terrible. How on earth is Watson going to break this? I don't think he
can.
Well,
with an SMG, he needs a miracle basically.
Yeah,
and he's been spotted out there, his position's been revealed, and all OpTic are going to do is converge on him now, pin him in.
Yeah, look at that. Krim even says, I don't need to engage you.
He's just playing with him.
Yeah, I don't need to engage you. What are you going to do? And he does come around the challenge here.
Oh,
it was hit the reload.
I think audacious would be a good word for that play from Krim. That was pretty nice.
All you saw was the rapidly fleeing silhouette of Crim6, getting himself in a better position. Yeah, but you saw Formal kind of swing round because once he knew where that player was, he swung around and he was covering that entire open stretch. So there was no way Watson could move in anywhere near that area. Yeah,
and I think
it was a nightmare. There was no way he should have won it, to be honest.
Oh no, there was no way he was winning. I think there's a misconception as well in S&D. If you take a look at the stats quickly from OpTic, even though Scump and Enable are both 1 and 4, you know, again, there shouldn't be much emphasis on statistics because they've kind of been putting their body on the line when they've been stacking bomb sites. They've been the first men in there to sort of trade the kills. As you see, Enable sort of picking up his second kill. PT trades onto Scumpy, leaving it a 3v3.
Crimsix will have the bomb for this one.
Now again, look how spread out Vitality are. I think even though it may pay off, you know, they're sort of, if one of them gets picked off, they're not really in a position to trade the kill.
Well, you can see Crim there is actually watching fire. They may be in trouble here. The flank could catch them off guard. You're going to see Marky B picks off one, and that has to, and now OpTic are reacting to it. Instead of even trying to trade that kill, no, there's no way. There's got to be more than one of them there. We don't want to try and trade simply because we might lose.
Yeah, really not having the best of games as well, just to point out. 0 and 5.
You see Formal here. This is a very interesting strategy. Could have left them a little bit open if someone was watching the middle, but they are going to get through here. However, Crimson's gone down. It's now Formal in a 1 versus 3. Can he manage to make this? Watson, I think, just peeked him. And he will be, and that's going to get traded. Surely somehow stays alive here, Formal. But he has been pinned in. He's just between a rock and a hard place. There's no way out of it for him.
I mean, if there's one player you can count on to get out of that situation, Formal, but no, he wasn't able to do it in that instance. And one thing I'll point out, actually, is unlike his performance at the moment, Reedy in S&D actually, particularly versus us, I think in 2 maps of S&D combined, he got like 26 kills. He had a phenomenal S&D yesterday versus us.
The 2 players I was going to point out for S&D actually on the Vitality roster was Marky B and Reedy. They're known as some of the best S&D players in the game for Europe, essentially, and right now they're not doing it. I am wondering if that's because of the way OpTic are playing, because they're a little bit slower players. They don't go for this big trade here that seems to keep happening. Whereas OpTic are quite happy to keep just going straight into a gunfight. Again,
yeah, they're forcing the Vitality have elected to force the battle at their bomb site again. Crim with a huge 2-piece out of nowhere. I don't know how that managed to happen. That was
a trade. That's what they were fighting for there. Yeah. They were taken down and they obviously fought for the trade. OpTic are now looking towards B bomb site. Problem being is that the bomb carrier went in as well.
Now a 2v4, this next kill is hugely important because obviously it either produces a 2v3 or 1v4, which is pretty much unwinnable against a team like OpTic at the moment.
Well, here we go. OpTic have gone for a 3-man flank. This could really catch Vitality off now. It's already a bad situation for them, having this go down as well. Penny will get an entry kill though. That's now going to be traded down. Crimsix will get him, and now Watson will be left in a 1 versus 3. And you're right, they are playing this so much as a team game, OpTic, that there's no one-on-one gunfights. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I'm surprised to see Vitality are actually holding their weight against them at the moment. I think, although we did say it's sort of, if it's going to come down to anything, it'll come down to the search and destroy. The Vitality will win. I still sort of didn't expect them to pull off this many rounds, especially when OpTic have been playing this sort of clinical. And as we see, Watson gets taken out there from the top 3 story.
Well, 4-3 to OpTic now. And we're going to see this again. I mean, Crimsix keeps picking up these kills. It's just in the right position. His positioning so far this game has been, superb.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, on multiple titles, I think even on Black Ops 2, Ghosts, if there's one player you expect to shine in those clutch situations in S&D in general, it's Crimsix. I've seen so many times where he's sort of, not particularly now, but in the past where he's carried his team to search and destroy victories.
Well, a little bit different here. This may be a straight up the middle Swan. If they are going to go for it, Scott may be first in again, but he has got the bomb. A little bit more passive this time around. Oh, it doesn't matter. Scum managed to take that. Almost cut Crimsix in half, though. Crimsix just dropped just in time. But first blood to OpTic. It's another big kill here, something that Vitality really don't want. And look at that, Scum already backing up Crim. Crim dropped. That's the bait and switch.
Yeah, and there we go again. It's just textbook. I don't think there's been a kill which hasn't been traded by OpTic at the moment. And they 2v2 though.
Really, that Crimsix was actually alone in that one. You see, bomb down. Big advantage for OpTic here. They can play the bomb on this side. There's a lot of cover, a lot of little corners.
Yeah, and I think this man on the flank should get a kill actually, unless he gets noticed. Yeah, PD picking up Enable, puts him Scump in a 2v1 situation. Does Haymaker Reedy, which leaves it in a 1v1, and this is a huge round to win.
Can he clutch again? He did a big clutch the other day, and he's trying to get it. Yeah, Scumpy clutches it up 1 versus 2.
And that's going to be the catalyst for the win on this map. I think, that was the difference between a 2-round deficit or tying it up at 4-4 and the momentum shift.
He must have thought he had it. PD had to go for him. Problem is, the person PD was going against was Scump.
Exactly.
Right now, we're on a map point. This will be 2-0 to OpTic if they can convert this one last time. And it's going to be Vitality on the attack, and we're going to jump on board with PD. Now, if you're in this scenario, do you think Vitality kind of have it in them to still go aggressive, or are they going to change it up? I think they are. I think they're going to go straight for this again.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And OpTic thought the other.
Yeah,
exactly.
The other
way.
If you guys look at the minimap, OpTic have elected the 4-man flank, just thinking that because A hasn't worked for Vitality a few times that they're going to try the B bomb site, but Vitality, they've been persistent, and I think it should pay off now that they've have full bomb site control, 4-man in the spawn. I'd be surprised if they lose this round.
He's looking like he's actually going to flank again. Very, very active player. Formal though just took down Marky B when he shouldn't have done.
Now somebody needs to be in a position to trade that kill because Marky's just been taken out and they've just kind of left Formal there in the spawn behind them.
Scump might be able to take out PD here. Yes, he will. That's the second time in 2 gunfights for him as well. Watson is now going to check bomb. The great, like I said, this is all time now. There's no way OpTic can win because all they've got to do is trade the bomb and keep people off it. Even if they lose the player, like even if Watson has to check now, if he dies, they can do it. Really, there you go. Yeah. That's exactly what you need to do. Kill the bomb carrier, run away. Nothing OpTic can do, and that's going to be a round there for Vitality in the end.
Can you see them making the comeback, Bryce? That's a question. 2 more rounds.
I'm not entirely sure that they can. Watson pulled off something big there, but it depends actually on the game style. We saw that OpTic tried to second guess Vitality that round. It didn't work. It left them a bit of a disadvantage. PD was actually the key player for me there because of the flank he put back on the OpTic. OpTic were not expecting a player to come behind him and kind of put the sightlines away. And even though Vitality didn't trade, they still got away with it.
It's interesting actually, just to bring up a point about the overall meta game, the fact that these guys have elected not to use overkill, just how much more aggressive it is, and it sort of went up really with the first pick there, by the way. Traded once again by OpTic, electing to stay, staying in a group, and they're not approaching any gunfight without having numbers, without having that 2v1.
And that's so critical as well because, as I said, you can tell they're set up for it. They know they're not going to let any kill go unanswered.
But yeah, I mean, I think you'd see sort of, as I was saying about the meta game, you'd see sort of a different... Watson behind the enemy lines.
He's in a really good place for this as well. As soon as that bomb goes down, he should be able to get somebody.
Even so, though, the fact that they've let them get the bomb down is so. I think he did spot for him there. Should take him out. Yeah, traded immediately by Enable once again. Petey's on the bomb. This could catch him off guard, actually.
Surely not. Here comes Marky B. Oh no, he has got it. It's now 1 versus 1. It's going to be Enable versus Marky. Is Marky going to go for it? Is Enable going to know?
I think Marky's actually got it.
Has he though? Has he? 3, 2, 1. Oh, he gets it into the fuse onto Enable.
Huge, and the crowd is going ballistic, by the way, folks.
Yeah, you can see them in the background there. They're happy with that.
The whole of France is just erupted.
Here we go. They're happy. That was close. I mean, that's technically a 1v2 clutch for Marky B.
But no, just to elaborate on my point earlier about the overkill, kind of, you see, if we were to see overkill implemented within this game, you'd see a lot more sort of passive play, a lot more playing for picks, as opposed to right now where you're seeing 8 people literally sprinting at a bomb site and just hoping to trade the kill. Formal with a massive shot, traded well by Reedy, 3v3 at the moment.
There we go. Now this actually hasn't worked for Vitality, and they wisely decided to get out of there. They went, we've done this before.
No, I like it.
We've jumped into this bomb site and lost.
I do like
several times.
Yeah, I do like it. I think they should just commit to it right now.
Difference in that round as well. Watson went with them.
Oh yeah, good point actually. Good point to pick up, and they did manage to get the opening trade. If Watson wasn't with them, perhaps it would have again went in OpTic favour. But Watson getting caught off guard again around the B side and leaves them in a 2v3 on offense. OpTic are just going to play the clock out and wait for them to sort of make a mistake, and that's something American teams are notorious for. Something I've noticed is they're so effective, so efficient at sort of capitalising on any mistake you make in game. They'll pounce on it and they'll punish you for it.
If Reedy can get this down and get away clean, they have a chance. If he gets picked up while he does it, which he looks like he's been tagged up,
1v3,
down he goes. OpTic will win. They will take that one as well. And it was the problem was when that bomb went down, you just saw them pounce. OpTic just went full forward. They knew that is the best time to get a trade, is when a bomb carrier has just planted. Yeah. Capture the flag. I actually think it's a different kettle of fish. Vitality are going to be... If it was uplink, I would have been calling this all over because we're talking about something else. But genuinely, because it's capture the flag, this is an opportunity for them to actually get back into this game. They are a good capture the flag team. Yeah. PD's going to be the player for Vitality to do this, and it might key to victory. But we'll find out.
I mean, I'll just give a wild statistic. This was actually the map they ended up taking down Envy on. I mean, I know it was only PT and Watson, but they put up a solid performance. Decisively destroyed Envy on it at Champs, so look for a repeat of that, I think.
Well, yeah, on board with Krim at the moment there. Krim just picks up a 2B, shutting him down. Will he get the third one as well? No! Has to hit the reload and will be picked off. And you can see Watson already pushing forward, trying to do some work. He is going to go down.
And they're with a huge 2-piece.
That has been pulled though by Scum. Scum's got away. How on earth did he dodge away from the bullets of Reedy there? His teammates desperately trying to pick him up. That will go down and it will be returned. Vitality clean house.
Yep, 3 down. I didn't expect Crim actually to be running an AR on this map. I thought they'd sort of, oh, well, they're using 2 ARs, but I thought it'd certainly be, if anyone, formal.
Yeah, I just think maybe they're going for that strategy here. They've got to suspect that people like PD will do exactly what he just did and kind of sneak the flag away while gunfights are going on. He is going to go down with it. That should be an easy return. Crimsic's now coming in. He looks like he's going to try and pull this flag away. 3 members of Vitality around him. He's going to pick one up. That is an assist for him as well. Flag will be back down, but they're not leaving this alone here. Naval has got it. He's actually had to go further into the enemy spawn to get it.
Now, again, I think a good point you made earlier about Petey in that he's sort of an orthodox. He likes to flank a lot, and that's kind of what got them that pull. So I expect to see players like Petey, even Scump, you know, hitting the flank on this map and just trying to get the counter pull out.
It wouldn't surprise me to see somebody from OpTic pick up on that during this game and actually drop a player back to stop that.
And that's another thing they're so effective at, is sort of recognising the other team's strategy and adapting to it accordingly.
Well, Formal putting some shots down there, just looking for it. Marky B will pull this away.
But again,
still
I think
alive.
that seems to be Vitality's.
Oh my goodness, how on earth has Marky managed to get away for that long?
He did punch Scump in the face there, but really actually picks up a two-piece on that. This should be a cap from
only one man can stop it.
From
Who
Vitality.
It's going to be Crim.
Crim
Crim goes
did
down.
get taken out, and that's going to be 1-0 Vitality, so a huge cap on the board to open things up, get them a bit of confidence.
They seem to be going really aggressive, Vitality, and I'll be honest with you, that's actually what I want to see. Put OpTic on the back foot, make OpTic chase.
Yeah,
and that's what they're doing.
I think Formal in their base with an AR, you know. Huge kill from Petey top mid, but it's all up to Formal to kind of get this kill and get the pull out.
Oh, he's waiting. He wants to make this kill before he does anything. Formal looking for it, and he is going to get it.
I thought he was about to jump off the map.
I thought he was. I thought he almost missed it. He's now going to get away, surely. No, will eventually be dropped as Watson has pulled again here.
Yeah, I mean, this is incredibly hectic. Just about every player from Vitality pulling the flag at every opportunity and trying to get it out.
See, this is where, like I said, somebody is going to adapt at some point and maybe start stopping these people flanking. They've got to either drop something behind or be more wary of the rotate back to flag, because Vitality will not just stop picking at it. They're going for it again.
Yeah, and if you look, Reedy again, he's going to pull his flag out. He should pull it mid. Oh, I think he's going to just pull it straight up top mid, actually, which is questionable, I guess, because there is a player chasing him. He got the stun, and whether he's able to pick up the kill, yeah. I mean, if I were Reedy there, I'd probably recognise.
Oh my goodness, he managed to get away. This might be 2 with Marky. No, Marky's going to go down. It's Reedy. It's not going to be able to stop that.
I thought I may have spoken too soon, yeah, but yeah, in that instance, I think I'd have probably
Reedy
elected to pull it Maze side.
Shutting them down, still alive, and there is an OpTic player on the flank. It's going to be Crim.
If you notice now, Crim's pulled out an SMG just to kind of counter how fast-paced the game's going at the moment. And again, another misconception. I think people think that this is sort of a predominantly AR map, but of course it's imperative that your ARs kind of hold that top mid. But the amount of close quarters, especially when you get over to the light side of the map, it's so important for your SMGs to sort of keep up the aggression as Vitality are doing, and pick up the kills in the enemy team's base.
Well, I said this is. I think OpTic are not used to this fast pace. Vitality were refusing to either hold defensively as they could, but they just want to trade, which must put OpTic on the back foot, going, but we're the better slaying team, surely.
Yeah.
So you say Formal has now got this away. Kill there. Can he pick up this second kill? Doesn't really have the support to get this out, but does get the 2-piece here. But unfortunately, it's just bodies. And look at that, Vitality.
Yeah, the flag is out again. Marky B on another mad route.
Can he get away with it?
I wouldn't expect him to do much. Yeah, 3 down for OpTic, and look for OpTic to capitalise on this. Watson is the only man in the position to sort of thwart it, and does get taken out by Scump.
This is where it could go against Vitality.
Again, yeah.
Being that aggressive, they didn't have the bodies to even contest. Marky's going to try to be a hero. Can he actually do it? No, he's going to be seen. He's going to go in for OpTic. It will be 1-1. Yeah. And that was a counter cap. And technically, that is actually the strategy you use to kind of counter what Vitality are doing.
Yeah,
if they're not going to be cohesive and just go one-on-one with you, you saw a 4-man sweep straight into the base and then a 4-man retreat all the way back.
Yeah, and you can't afford to get the 4 down on CTF, because against a team like OpTic, they will punish you. Even though Vitality did get a high up spawn on light, OpTic, they predicted it. They used the game knowledge and they sort of ran the flag the other way.
Go. It's still 1-1. We're going to go 1-1 into the second half of this. So far, chaotic first half of capture of the flag. Neither team really looking, like they're going to take it at any point. For me, Vitality were trying to just kind of throw OpTic off board and continuously pulling. And it wasn't just one man, because I'll be honest with you, I was expecting maybe Petey to continuously flank and pull. But it was Marky, there was Reedy,
it was even Watson, yeah. I mean,
all of them, Paul. They weren't playing defensive. They were just continually streaming forward and letting others rotate back. And that, for me, actually shows a strategy of allowing the players to kind of all play their role at once, not assigning anyone to a specific continuously flank role.
And that's something you see on this game. I think, especially in the first 5 minutes, sort of the structure and how it's played out. It's not CEF on this game, although it's the same game mode, and we've played it on previous titles. It's not as methodical. It's a lot more fast-paced. It's a lot more sort of, because the spawns are so, I'll use the word erratic again. You can't predict it. Formal with a huge defensive three-piece to kind of thwart that Vitality attack. Formal 21 and 12. He's doing exactly what you'd expect in a certain map control with the R.
Oh yeah, Formal's just trying to hold this down, and that's exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Crimsix though now looking like to push forward.
Again,
but there you go.
3 down, and you look at the mini-map, and my boy Petey with the flank and with the flag pull.
Look here, he's just come right in front of him. He is not going to challenge him, but he will go down. And it's going to be up to his teammate. Watson's managed to get this, and he's going to go for the slam. He's got a player going against him. Can he trade it away? No. Kill's going on.
Oh, Crimsix with possibly the biggest 2-piece of the map so far. But again, why wouldn't, I'm not sure why Petey didn't just run the flag straight through underground. He ran it top mid and then risked obviously OpTic spawning up, and it's an easier route for them to just to get the return on.
But they're not resting on their laurels here. I mean, this is actually one of the fastest paced capture the flags I've ever seen.
Watson, I didn't even notice that Watson pulled the flag again.
That's what I'm trying to say. We can't even keep up with the game because both teams are just continuously pulling. Reedy's there. He's going to try slip it away. It's not going to happen. Now here comes OpTic in a 4-man push. This is dangerous for Vitality.
Yeah, this could be another counter.
Will now be watching. He's trying to get this cut. He's going to have 2 people come against him. Reedy's actually dipped away, and that actually makes it more difficult for OpTic because sure, the number of Vitality players who are going to be setting up to stop this.
Now what you'll see on this map, unlike previous titles, as I said in Capture the Flag, where if you push, the team will spawn further back in their base, there's a lot more chance of this map of if you sort of, for example, if OpTic push their base, Vitality will spawn up, if you look at the minimap, on the bottom left in the underground, which gives a perfect opportunity to just overextend and counter. Which is exactly what you've seen again with Reedy pulling the flag out this time. I think, again, they're just taking turns to pull it out.
This has to be a hero play. Reedy has to somehow get away from him. He's got teammates with him as well. Oh, going to dip away. And you actually see, who is that with the flag? Crimsix. He's actually looking quite aggressive with the way he's
and enable with the return. There should be a cap here, unless this guy on underground can stop the flag.
No, it is. Oh, it's return on the other side. Petey does it, but not quite.
The flag goes
and it will be 2-1 eventually. Such a scrappy battle, but doesn't matter. Vitality are pulling again.
I mean, it's incredible. As a caster, I'm surprised at how hard it is to actually keep up. I'm just watching this mini-map, and there's just red arrows, blue arrows, flags going everywhere. Enable.
Oh, big kill from Marky B to put it home. Yeah. You know what? I'd love a statistic of just how many times the flag's actually been pulled or been in a player's hands.
I think at the end of the game, when we're able to see the returns and sort of the flag kills, it's going to be pretty wild.
It is going to be just amazing. And there we go. OpTic Formal is the man we're getting on board with here, as OpTic try to just trade kills actually. Maybe a little bit of change of tactic.
But if you look, I think it's predominantly because Vitality are running 4 SMGs. Yeah. Even though they're getting outslayed, if you look at Formal, you know, he's plus 10. Because he's had an AR for the majority of the time, he's kind of been subject to increasing amount of pressure from those 4 SMGs. So even though they're getting outslayed, they're still able to push up a lot quicker and sort of make those important kills in the other team's base.
I think the last 20 seconds is the only time in the game when we haven't seen a flag being pulled.
Oh, yeah.
Saying that, Reedy's in a position to do it now. The Formal though, this is it. This is the change in tactics. Formal has stayed back and said, no, we're not allowing you to continue to do this. We're going to have to put someone on the defense.
And I think that's a wise decision. You know, that's probably the most effective counter to Vitality's strategy at the moment. And Enable does get this pull. This will be
Marky B's countered. He's going to get shut down by it as well. Enable gets the return. He should be able to put this in, and he is going to.
Yeah, that's
cleared it up.
Good point, actually. I think that was largely down to the fact that Formal sort of elected to play a more defensive role and pick up those kills.
Yeah. We said that's what's going to happen. I mean, it had to happen eventually. Vitality were playing a very aggressive, a very continuously pull and just trade around the map. At no point did they really set up for anything. No, they just wanted to win the fights and run.
And if you look on the minimap again, it's Formal. Should pick up a huge kill on Watson again, and he sort of saved his team again. I wonder if, as an individual, he elected to play that, or whether sort of Krim kind of
said, look, this is happening, we've got to stop it.
Because I know Krim, he's very vocal on those matters, and because of his experience, he's able to sort of dictate and counter the other team's strategy and say, look, this isn't working, change it up, do this.
Yeah, and you can see the difference in OpTic. Vitality have been trying to play the same tactic, and they can't do it now because OpTic have said that's enough. No. That's enough. You're not pulling the flag every 10 seconds.
Oh, now this could be a pullout. It's
down again.
Shuts him down.
There's too many of them there. It's just not gonna. It's not gonna happen in that kind of scenario. and this will be a hot 3-0 for OpTic Gaming. But capture the flag, we said it was going to be a lot tighter, and it actually happened the way we said it was going, through the fact that OpTic will adapt, and they will put someone like Formal back at base.
Possibly the most hectic capture the flag I've seen on this game, and I've seen some hectic capture the flags on this game, but I think that one took the biscuit.
Here it is, there you go, they're going to shake hands here. Vitaly have had a swift exit so far today in this tournament. OpTic absolutely dominating on the hard point. The S&D super close.
They needed to take that search and destroy. I mean, although it was a 3-0, the hard point was an absolute blowout. I think you got